Hey beauties, welcome back. If you want to see how I got this realistic, wearable Christmas makeup look, then just continue to keep on watching. Hey guys, so we are going to be starting off with priming our face. Today the only primer I'm going to be using is this MAC Prep and Prime in the Fix Plus Matte. This is what it looks like. Don't mind my nails, I am going to get them done this week, but for right now, just don't look at them. But I'm going to spray my entire face with this. Let that dry for just a second. This is the only primer I'm going to be using on my face. We are going to go in with the Estee Lauder Hydra Rescue. And this is in the shade 1 and 0 Porcelain. Does come with a little pump. I'm going to use 2 pumps for right now. I'm just going to put this all over the face. Kind of just going to stripe it down. And then if we need more, we will add or build. But right now, 2 pumps is what I'm using. And I am going to go in with this Eco Tools brush. It does say it's for cream foundations or cream products, but it looks very good for foundation to me, even though I am a sponge person. And we are going to go in with my new brush. So it's very dense, but super soft, if that makes sense. And yes, it gives a lot of coverage, as you can see. Very good for foundation. And I did get this at Walmart, and it came in a set of 3. This is the one I'm going to be using my concealer with. This is the smallest one, and this is the biggest one, and it did come with a medium-sized one. But I am finding, like, I do like to apply my foundation with this brush here because it's so flawless looking. I wouldn't necessarily apply a thicker foundation with this, but these thinner ones, it applies flawlessly. So I'm going to be using this today. But as you can see, this applied this foundation beautifully and gave me probably a lot more coverage than that sponge would have. And I'm going to go in with just a little bit more. Just going to go ahead and put that right on the brush. And just on my hyperpigmentation and cover that right up. And kind of, I'm like stippling, like patting motion, and then sweeping downward. I mean, I almost got full coverage off of this brush, and I know for a fact that this foundation is definitely not full coverage. So just depending on what tools you use can make a difference in the foundation coverage. So I am really not a brush girl, but it's okay because I do love this brush here. It is so soft. I don't know if you can see that, but foundation does not emphasize texture or pores. So we're going to go with the L'Oreal Infallible. I know I always use my dose of color, so we're just going to switch this up. Still only putting this in the corners. Might do a little highlight down the bridge of the nose. Just a little here and on the Cupid's bow. And I am going to take the smaller little Eco Tools brush and blend everything out. And this is actually it says Ultimate Cover Concealer Brush. So it gives a lot more coverage from the foundation instead of soaking up. And then I look crazy right now. I think I put a little too much. But then this is just a dry, this is the new e.l.f. Marshmallow Sponge. I do like it, but I find that it is softer than the original, and I find that it does soak up a lot of product. So, and I am going to blend this out first with this little brush here, because as you can see, it gets right in that corner right there. But then I am going to take that dry sponge and just go over it. And I think since that sponge does soak up so much product, I'm probably just going to be using it dry to go over stuff like I am today. So, going with that dry sponge now, I'll just go over everything. And this sponge is bouncy and it is soft, but it's even softer than the original sponge, which I love. It is super bouncy, but look, it just, when you use it dry, look at that. It looks like skin, like flawless skin. And mind you, I did not use a pore filling primer. So, I'm going to go in with the Haley's Retouch Perfecting Loose Setting Powder. And I am going to use this on my Real Techniques little brush here. And just set right under the eye. And on top of my eye, since we are going to be using eyeshadow. Same thing on this eye. And you really want to go back and forth, especially when you have like fine lines. You don't want to just set one side. And then I'll just lightly take a dusting of whatever is left and just go all over my face with this same little brush. I'm going to be using the Park Ave Princess from Tarte. Looks like this. It does have a little mirror right here. It smells like super strong coconuts, which I don't mind, but we are going to be using this today. You really don't smell this after you put it on your face, so if you are like sensitive to smells, I probably wouldn't use this. I would go for something that's more lightly scented coconut, like the Milani Soap Matte Bronzer, because that one is coconut smelling also, but not as strong as this one. Of course, always my love, my Essence number 10. So beautiful. And on just a blush brush. Look how pigmented, like I'm barely tapped in there. And you see the pigment on my face is beautiful. So, and I do run this just up here. That didn't take long at all. Moving on to highlighter, I am going to be using my AOA Studio highlighting brush. This was $1 on the shop Miss A. And going in with my Milani Dolce Pearl Baked Highlighter. And it looks like this. This is so beautiful, and I swear it's a dupe for the Oak for highlighters, because it gives you that wet skin look. Like, you can go lightly handed, but for some reason I can never do lightly handed. So I am one of those that want to look like I have wet skin. But if you're not like that, you can go lightly handed on this, and it does look like you're glowing from within, and it's very beautiful. And this one also does not emphasize texture or anything like that, because I do have textured skin, and I would never mention on my channel a highlighter that emphasizes texture. So any highlight that you ever see me using on my channel does not emphasize texture, and this one does not. It's just so beautiful. Just going to brush through my brow. Moving on, we're going to be using this Twilight palette that I got off Amazon for $9.99. This does come in a set with another one. At the time, I did not know it came in a set, so I did purchase this separately, but you get all these beautiful Christmassy colors, fall / Christmassy colors for under $10, and it's super pigmented. So I'm gonna go in with this guy today. It's gonna take on a fluffy brush this cool toned brown shade right here, and we're just going to run this in the crease of my eye for the transition shade. And you guys, I'm going to show you, like, I'm literally hardly tapping in here. Let me just show you. There's no kickback, and it's so freaking pigmented. so good for what you pay for. I mean, literally just barely tapping in there. There's no fallout, there's no kickback. But now we're gonna go in with this mauve pink shade right here. Same brush, and we're gonna go kind of right under that cool tone brown shade that we just put in our crease. You can see here we did the brown, and then right under there, kind of like, I'm gonna go in with this warmer brown shade right here. This color is called Cosmo. And I am kind of focusing this darker brown warm shade kind of on the outer portion, but pulling it in. Like literally 2 hits in the pan. You don't even have to swirl it or anything. Like you literally just tap it in there and you get all this color. So these palettes are really so good off Amazon. I'm going to go back in with this mauvier shade that we used and put it in the first portion of the under eye. So kind of matching the top. And right here with this light gold shade, I don't know if you can see that, but it's a light gold shade. It's called Retrograde, and I'm going to highlight the Wearable fluffy brush. I'm going to add a little bit of this red color here. This one's called Turkish Delight, and really barely tapping. Like when I'm say barely, like you can barely touch this color and it's so pigmented. So just going to, it's right here, Retrograde, with my finger and put that on the lid. And as you can see, oh my gosh, this is so easier without nails. Wow, like goes right on there. But we're gonna put that all over the lid. Same thing on the other eye. And you can see just how pigmented. And I always use my fingers, whether I have nails on or not, for any shimmer, glitter, anything like that, because it's the best tool to use for that. So I'm going to take this black shade in the same palette, and we're not going to use a liquid liner just because that can be harsh. And I kind of want this to be smoked out. So like blend it out. And when you use a eyeshadow, you can do that. Be very precise. But this here, you can like bring it in, blend it out. It's super easy. And you just want to keep it close to the lash line as possible, and then we are going to go back and blend. So not necessarily like lining our eyes, but just darkening it up just a little bit. And we're going to do the same thing with the other eye. And we're going to do it like we just do a wing, but not doing a wing. Pull that in. Like, look guys, so beautiful. And then you can pull it out, give it a little point, just like you do any other. Look at that. Beautiful. Fluffy brush, this Morphine, kind of just like blend the top part, so it's not looking so harsh like a liner. Blending only the top part. You don't want to bother this edge here, but as you can see, that is so beautiful. Now inner corner highlight is right here. So beautiful. And really highlight the inners of the eyes here, just because this is a Christmassy look, so I feel like this is necessary. And so we're going to be using the Tarte Big Eagle mascara today, and I'm going to do this really fast. Obviously, if you wear falsies, you can throw those on. I personally don't wear false lashes, so just going to give myself a few coats of this and be good. And I chose this mascara because it is more, even though I love my Thrive Cosmetics, this is more of a feathery out flirty look instead of a spidery, if that makes sense. And it still gives me the length and volume that I'm looking for. So all done there. And for the lips, you can go in with red lips, which totally up to you. I am going to go in with this Kylie lip kit. This is in the shade Bear. This is super like soft and glides so easily. So really good. And I have used this before. It looks like this. It smells like candy. It smells like legit candy. Obviously, like I said, you can use a red lip, but today I'm going to go for nude since I have been wearing red. But with any, obviously, Christmas look, and with my nails I'm going to be getting is Christmas, I'm going to be using a nude just so it's not so much. And with these velvet kits, this is not drying at all. This, you don't need to add a gloss on top. I'm going to add the lifter gloss, just the nude glitter one, just because it is Christmas look, but you don't have to. Just going to let that dry down for a second. And also, again, I'm going to set my face with the same mist that we primed our face with, which is the MAC Fix Plus and Matte. So just going to shake that up and give myself a spray. Gonna take that same little e.l.f. marshmallow sponge and just pat everything down. So just gonna go in with the lifter gloss. This is in the shade 001 Pearl. It's clear with glitter, which is appropriate for this time of year. This is the finished makeup look, you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I had fun doing it. And if you haven't already, go hit that subscribe button. It would help me out a whole lot. And see you in my next video.